It's time for DC All Access.
That's right, we are talking to the creators of Robin Rises Omega about what to expect from the reintroduction of the character.
And we've got a sneak peek at the new DC Nation Green Arrow short with director Jeff Mednikow.
Yeah, and I'm leaving DC All Access.
Wait, what?
But keep an eye out for my triumphant return next week in Blair Rises Omega.
I should have guessed.
Let's talk about the DC Nation Green Arrow short. Just give me the big picture for the fans at home.
In the first meeting I had with Warner Brothers, their only two pieces of direction were we'd like him to be somewhat young and we'd like him to be very modern. And for some reason, modern became futuristic. Right. And so I was like, so what's the signature futuristic element that we could bring to it? And the first thing I thought of was like a talking bow.
How many do you count, Bo?
27 onomatopoeia bots.
And it just became this idea that his bow would be his male best friend and Black Canary would be his female best friend. That would be the sort of triumvirate, the three main characters.
Easy, big fella. We're taking you in.
Who's we? Huh?
We're we.
You are late.
Sorry, I was perfecting some new arrows. Mind if I try these out while we got them stuck here?
The last time you tried out some new arrows, you destroyed half the city and almost got us killed.
Almost. Besides, these are way safer-ish.
Fine, but this better not get out of hand.
Thanks, all right, see you later.
What's like the one thing you're kind of most proud of in this?
The one thing I'm most proud of, I think that there are really strong action moments. The shorts are very action-packed. And so I think the idea with these shorts was to have something that has that really kinetic, cinematic sense of action, but doesn't lose a sort of natural sense of humor and is still very likable at the same time. So you might be in suspense for a minute and then you might laugh 2 seconds later. I think that's what I would hope for from an audience.
So at the end of the last issue, we saw Batman in hot pursuit of Ra's al Ghul. Where are we going to pick up? What do we need to know going into this next issue of Batman and Robin?
Well, actually, the next issue is Robin Rises #1 with Andy Kubert drawing it. You know, Andy's awesome. I saw the issue just the other day, all lettered up, and it was great. So, right after we see the final splash page of Glorious Godfrey from Apocalypse appearing from the boob tube, we next have a 38-page, just all-out action issue as Ra's and Batman suddenly may have to actually team up and fight an otherworldly situation, so to save their son and daughter.
Why do you think it's so important to see Batman go through the grieving process of losing Robin?
I think it was key because, you know, here's this character that had been around for several years, and to suddenly just take him away and then expect Batman after a month or two to go, oh well, son's gone, that's the way it goes. So, but being a father myself of an 11-year-old boy, you suddenly have a whole different connection to it.
Yeah.
And you know, you want to really just kind of show the emotional toll that something like that takes. And even in comic time, you don't want it to just happen so quickly, because if you do that, then the character, in a way, didn't mean anything. If it didn't mean anything to Bruce and Batman, then why should it mean anything to the reader? So I think by kind of sewing that emotional core into several months and really play it out for a period of time, I think it's really key, because at the same time, my favorite Batman is usually the Batman who's more humanistic. I like a Batman who gets in trouble. I like a Batman who has problems and has to overcome them.
So we've seen the loss. Will we ever get another Robin again?
Yes. We started the story off called Robin Rises Omega, which was sort of an endings, and I wanted to kind of flip Alpha and Omega, and Robin Rises Alpha comes out in December, and that's about beginnings. And a Robin will be in the costume in that issue, and people will know that there is a Robin, a dynamic duo together forever, and there we
I don't know
are.
if you want to say forever. How many times has he
You know,
died?
it has to be forever, because at this point, how many Robins can you keep killing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be, you know, that's enough.
All right, guys, what do people need to know coming into Batman Beyond 2.0 25?
Well, for starters, it's a great time to jump into the series. The book is going weekly. It's a big story that brings in Andrea Beaumont, the Phantasm, one of our favorite characters. When we launched Batman Beyond 2.0, the whole idea was to jump forward in time and to take Terry McGinnis into the next stage of his superhero career. But the big twist was that he and Bruce Wayne had a massive falling out. Something happened in this missing year. With Chapter 25 and the Phantasm story, we're looking back to that missing year and giving all the answers of what happened.
And talk to me about working with Phil. How's the art approach? How does that collaboration work between you guys and him?
For me, it's still always one of those things where, you know, we imagine kind of the action or whatever's on the page, and then he just takes it and just makes it 100 times better. Working with him has been fantastic. This is the first time I've worked with him, and it's, you know, it's for me as a writer, it's always great collaborating with an artist and see it come alive on the page.
Let's talk about the Phantasm. This is a character that obviously everybody is familiar with, but a little underused in recent memory. What does it mean for her return in this title specifically?
Well, she has actually an interesting connection to Terry McGinnis and the Batman Beyond universe. You know, when we got into this story and diving into the rift between Terry and Bruce, what caused it, as well as some of the things that happened between Bruce, Dick, and Barbara, Andrea was there for the beginning of Bruce's career as Batman. To bring her in here towards the end felt just, you know, very poetic. So she has a very prominent role in the story. There's some really nice scenes with her and Bruce. So
very cool, man. We're looking forward to it.
So you are the cover artist for Unwritten. Can you walk me through your process of actually working on the cover, sketching it?
Yes.
What do you do?
I usually do a lot of thumbnail sketches, which is like, you know, doing scribbles just to come up with compositions. And then I move on to like pencil. And this is the sketch I sent. So I scan this in and then color it quickly on Photoshop, just like rush it in. So they say like, oh great, you know, let's move on to the final. And what I do is load up the sketch from here to here. And then like I cut the paper and use the light box and like quickly trace with pencil. And then just like, you know, use my inks and brushes and just spend a lot of time, sit in front of the drawing table for a long time and it's done. And then I move on to Photoshop and then spend another few days probably coloring it.
Congratulations to Brantley DiMercurio from Troy, Missouri. You are our winner of the Warner Brothers VIP Studio Tour. That includes airfare to Los Angeles and hotel.
Yes, so make sure you subscribe to DC All Access for everything wonderful in the world of DC, including giveaways and exclusives and a whole lot more.
What are you actually even doing here, Blair? Because I thought you were doing the whole rebirth thing next week.
Right. The Blair shall rise again!
He'll be back.